Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Well, you found it. This is your underground source for 5-minute Bible study. Today we're looking at Psalm 95, verses 10 through 11 on Daily Dose Radio, and we read the whole thing yesterday from the end of verse 7 all the way through 11, but today we're just going to read verses 10 and 11. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, It is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways, unto whom I swear in my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. Kind of a funny way for the psalm to end, but remember we're in a section of warning, and the warning is, you're not going to enter into my rest because you've hardened your hearts, and because you do err in the heart. Notice that in verse 10. It is a people that do err in their heart. They have not known my ways. How is that possible? This is the generation he's talking about here in Psalm 95 is the generation that escaped captivity in Egypt. They saw the hand of the Lord judge Egypt's gods. They saw the hand of the Lord judge Egypt's army and its people. They saw the hand of the Lord open the Red Sea for them to pass through on dry ground, and they saw the hand of the Lord close the Red Sea and engulf Pharaoh's army. They saw the Lord give them the 10 Commandments. They saw the Lord provide for them water in the wilderness, meat in the wilderness. They saw Him provide them a light to guide them by night and a cloud to guide them by day. How is it then that this generation can harden their heart and err in the heart and not know the ways of the Lord? It just shows you how deep the corruption of man can be. And unless it's the hand of the Lord that opens the heart of man, it is not going to be opened at all. Only He can illumine our eyes. Only He can lighten our soul. And so the warning comes to us now in the book of Hebrews, and I mentioned this yesterday. We have this statement by the writer of the Hebrews, To whom sware He that they should not enter into His rest, but to them that believed not. So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. That is a great problem today for us, is unbelief. Unless we believe, we cannot enter into His rest. Now, I said yesterday that we miss God's best if we harden our hearts and we don't listen to His voice. But that really kind of soft pedals the whole thing, because not entering into His rest means that you don't make it into the promised land. Not entering into His rest means that you're not with the people of God. So all that remains is judgment. And ladies and gentlemen, the judgment of hell certainly is not God's best for you. That is the worst possible outcome that you could ever imagine. And so you must listen to His voice. You must not harden your heart. You must pray and seek the Lord. While it is still called today, seek Him. Today, if you will hear His voice, while it is still called today, seek the Lord. You need that today. You must understand that there is a judgment, a hell to shun. There is a heaven or a promised land to gain. What are you doing? Are you listening or are you forbearing? You must listen. If you will hear His voice, don't harden your heart. See, that's what happened to the people. 40 years long was I grieved with that generation. That's their wandering in the wilderness. And I said, It is a people that do err in their heart, and they shall have not known my ways, unto whom I swear in my wrath, oh my, they shall not enter into my rest. There is a rest, and actually the writer of the book of Hebrews tells us this in chapter 4. There remains a rest. Again, He limited a certain day, saying in David, Today, after so long a time, as it is said, Today, if you will hear His voice, harden not your hearts. For if Jesus had given them rest, then would He not afterward have spoken of another day. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. Ladies and gentlemen, my prayer for you is that you will enter into that rest. Join me next time as we look at Psalm 96 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.